Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for Jaspersoft's Roadmap webinar. My name is Maria Salazar, and I'm the Principal Product Manager at Jaspersoft. I joined the team at the beginning of this year, and my main focus since then has been on creating a roadmap, defining the strategic direction for the next couple of years, and most importantly, getting to know our customers like you. So I'm super excited to be here and share our vision and our plans with you today. All right, before getting started, I'll just pull up the standard confidentiality and disclaimer for a moment. And okay, so today we will be guiding you through our roadmap, which is structured in two parts. We have the now segment, which covers our immediate focus and what we've been working on in Q2 and Q3. And then the next segment that will be detailing our plans for 2025 and beyond. And we will try to leave some time at the end for questions. Joining me in today's presentation, we have our panel of Jaspersoft experts. So we have Mohit, our Senior Technical Product Manager. He recently joined the product management team, so glad to have him on board. And we have Julio and Divya Shekhar, our Directors of Application Development and Engineering. Okay. Um, just a few housekeeping items. So we will be sharing a recording of the webinar after today's call, like we usually do. Please submit your questions via the webinar Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. We will reserve some time at the end of the webinar to answer these questions live. But if we're not able to get through all of the questions that you've submitted, we will follow up and address them in a following communication or post. If you are a current customer and have any additional questions, please reach out to your account executive or your customer success manager for assistance. Now, as we go through these topics, if any particular feature or topic that we share with you today, it sparks your interest, we strongly encourage you to reach out. We would love to learn more about your specific use cases, get your direct feedback, and just to help us make sure that the functionality and the features that we're building are truly valuable to you. Now, if you're considering a move to Jaspersoft, please reach out via our contact form on our website. Okay. And so with that, let's begin. So at Jaspersoft, we have a clear mission, which is to be the leading platform for pixel perfect reporting and powerful embedding. And we want to make sure that we deliver a high performing and user slash developer friendly experience. Now, this overarching mission is driven and shaped by four core themes that are guiding every aspect of our roadmap moving forward, and that will help us prioritize and focus on the work that is the most valuable to you. So I'll just quickly go through these themes. The first one is intuitive reports and ad hoc design. So our focus here is on modernizing the user interface across both Jasper Report Server and Web Studio, making them more user-friendly and accessible. And we're also incorporating more report design features to improve user flows and just to streamline the entire end-to-end report design process. Now, for stability and performance, with each release that we do, we are dedicated to improving the reliability and the responsiveness of our products. And so this could involve things like tackling technical debt, resolving defects of course, and just shipping high quality software. And we do want to bring a special focus on optimizing performance. Now, this could be, again, about functionality or infrastructure improvements, but it may also include revamping some of our internal processes just to ensure a smooth and an efficient upgrade experience for our users. Another significant area of focus for us is empowering developers with flexible embedding options, as well as better and more comprehensive configuration capabilities, right? So what we're looking for here is to allow for a seamless integration of Jaspersoft into the various applications that you're working with, that you're building. So embeddability is a really, really important area to us, and this theme is primarily targeting developers as our main user persona, right? So we want to be super focused on the developer experience. And then for the last one, automated and advanced report options. So this theme is centering on providing robust capabilities for automating report processes, right? So this may mean the scheduling, alerts, and advanced filtering, for example, right? Like all of these would fall under this last category. Okay, so now that we have gone over the key themes that are guiding our roadmap, let's dive a little bit deeper into the specific features and enhancements that we are actively working on right now or have been, working on during Q2 and Q3. And these are the features that you can expect to see in our upcoming release. So for stability and performance and just general core engine updates, we wanted to highlight two important items. The first one, which many of you already know, is about the transition from Java Enterprise Edition to Jakarta Enterprise Edition. So Mohit will go over this in detail. And we're also updating several core components, right? So we have an upgrade for React, for Material UI, Node.js, HighCharts, CSRF, and finally, we also have the Spring Framework upgrade. The importance of upgrading to the latest Spring version has been brought to our attention by some of you, and we realize it has taken longer than expected, but we now have secured access to the upgrades, and we are committed on working on this upgrade in the next month to make it available as soon as we possibly can. Okay. Now jumping to customization and configuration, we want to do a recap of the HTML Pro components. So Jolio will walk us through this. And we also want to share the latest on our Visualize Toolkit, which is a set of pre-built open source UI components that make embedding much easier. Now, for report and ad hoc design, we'll talk about the latest additions to Web Studio, like the table and the cross-tab editor. And we also want to share what you can expect to see in the upcoming release for ad hoc views. We have a series of enhancements that I'll be walking through in a moment. Okay, and now I will pass it over to Mohit to take us through the Jakarta Enterprise Edition transition piece. So over to you, Mohit.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Maria, for the introduction. Yes, today we will go through the Jakarta upgrade cycle of Jaspersoft. As known, Oracle has donated the Java Enterprise Edition to Eclipse Foundation, but due to legal issues related to reusing the namespace Java, Eclipse has replaced it with Jakarta. So all the changes are technical. These technical changes are impacting multiple components of Jaspersoft. But for Jaspersoft to stay modern and secure and compatible with the new Java technologies, we must upgrade. With the changes, these changes will allow us to use the latest version of the servers like Tomcat 10. We will be also going through the impact on the extensions that the customer will be using. This will be covered in the following slides. Next slide. So why Jaspersoft is moving to Jakarta Enterprise Edition? As we know that Java is the past and Jakarta is the future, we will be moving to the Jakarta version. All the new latest updates of the versions as well as the new platform that will be supported will come under Jakarta Enterprise Edition. Next slide. When we are upgrading to Jakarta Enterprise Edition, will there be any breaking API changes? So we are not expecting any API behavior changes. because the core basic functionality of the applications remain same. Next slide. Will the older version of Jaspersoft version using Jakarta Enterprise Edition continue to work? Yes, the older version will continue to work as the functionality as of today. However, the compatible with the application server like Tomcat 10 won't be allowed for the older version. For the questions like can the customer can stay on the Jakarta Enterprise Edition uh, for indefinitely? Yes, they can work with the older versions, but the main issue will be with the new features, the bugs, or the security patches. They won't be available after the end of life of those versions. Next slide. So when will these changes take effect? For the Java Enterprise version, we are planning two tracks. For the Java Enterprise Edition, we will be having Jaspersoft 9.0.2 release. This will have all the Java Enterprise capabilities, and this will be for those customers who are not ready to upgrade. And for the version Java 10, it will be fully supported with the Jakarta Enterprise Edition, and it will be available in this year, quarter four. Next slide. What we can expect when we are upgrading for the version 10. Because the version 10 is fully supported of Jakarta, we from the application perspective, we have moved all the Java packages to Jakarta that is been handled by the product. There won't be any breaking changes because the core basic functionality will remain the same between the version 9 and 10. Any existing configuration or the customization provided by the customer, there will be minimum to no changes. So we do not expect any changes there. Next. It is really important that the customer select the right version of the Jaspersoft to support all the versions that are there. For the version like Jaspersoft 9, if they are selecting Jaspersoft version 9, the Enterprise Edition, Java Enterprise Edition will have the compatibility of Tomcat version 8.5, Tomcat 9. But if the customer wants to upgrade to the latest version of Tomcat server, that is 10.x or Tomcat 11, they need to upgrade it to Jaspersoft 10. There are other libraries which are getting impacted like Spring Security, Hibernate, EHCache. For the latest version, a customer must upgrade to Jaspersoft version 10. That's it from the Jakarta upgrade.
Okay.
Over to you, Maria.
Thanks, Mohit. So yeah, these are, frequent questions that we've been getting from customers and also, our internal team. So we hope that has brought some clarity on this Jakarta transition piece. If you still have questions, again, just please post them on the chat or feel free to reach out and we'll make sure to provide more guidance and more information around this specific piece. Okay, so moving on to our next topic, we have visualized components, which we think will be a really helpful and flexible toolkit for embedding. So visualized components are a library of pre-built UI widgets that are designed to simplify and to accelerate, again, the embedding of Jaspersoft into your applications. So you can think of these as like plug and play building blocks, which are ready to be used. They're fully styled and they're customizable as well, right? So you don't have to build everything from scratch. You can now use these fully working components. They are secure, they're responsive, they have better UX and UI, and they also have accessibility built into them. So we wanted to show you a couple of demos to see how input controls and scheduler components work. Okay, so let's start with input controls. Let me just get the video going.
Hello. So
Great.
I'm going to show you some of the features that these new Jaspersoft Visualize components can do. Okay. So basically, this project, what it will do is to embed in this case, input controls and schedules, and specific scheduling um, for your application. Okay, so in this case, we already have a report like this one, like this sample. Okay, this report is embedded using Visualize.js, but not the usual way that you are used to do it. Instead, we are using a specific component that is called JV Tools. Okay, so this JV Tools is a new npm package that you can already download. And with this in code, what you can do is you can provide, uh, the authentication credentials for that, and you can provide what is the report name that you want to access. And I will show you how this works. But basically, once you have that, then you need to provide, where the Jasper report server is located, and also in this Jasper report server where the Visualize.js is also located. Okay, so once you have that, then you can render input controls. Now, these input controls will have a new look and feel, like the ones that are exposed here. So here we have different input controls. We have booleans, we have text, right? And here you can see the look and feel for all these input controls. So we have checkbox, but also we have boolean, and as you can see, it's a new look and feel. We have date input control. Okay, so in this case, we already have a report, and this report already contains some input controls. So in this case, all the input controls that contains are single select. Okay, we have single select input controls, but the thing is that this input or this single select will also modify the value for the next input controls. It's like the cascading feature on the input controls. If we also change this, then this guy will be changed. And of course, if we, I don't know, change it to foot, then this guy also changes. And if we change it to X, then also this one is updated. Okay, as you can see. And we have here we have a multi-select. Now, the cool thing about this new library is that on every change that you have, on every change that you produce, let me change this to drink, for instance. Then you'll have that on a on an object, right? On a JavaScript object. So in this case, we change the product family. So product family is drink. Then product department is alcoholic beverages. But of course, you can update this. So now product family is still drink, and also product department is beverage, and then product category is all. But again, you can also change this to hot beverage, for instance, and everything will be updated. So product family is still drink, product department is beverages, product category is hot beverages, and then product name is also uh, Colombian coffee, and this is a multi-select. Now, this is when a report, right, has cascading input controls, but also, like in this case, we have a customer. In this case, this is the name of the customer that we're seeing in the report. But also, you can add the interaction for, suppose that you have a report with uh, many values. So let's say that you select this one, and then you click submit. Now, you can also do this kind of interaction in your report. So now your report is updated. And the way how we do this is by, controlling the inputs or the latest values that these inputs provided, and then using visualize to update the report that is already rendered. So this is how the new input controls can be used along with uh, Visualize.js.
Okay, so that was the first demo
Going
for
to
input controls. Sorry, let me just see if I can move on to the next one, which is the demo for the scheduler.
Hello. So I will also show you or highlight the features for the scheduler that is also provided as a new npm package. So the first thing that you need to know is that you can also install the JV scheduler as an npm package in your application. And then the next thing is that you'll need to provide a configuration object. So this configuration object will have this structure, with many attributes. Now, these attributes are already defined here on the documentation, where you can see, each and every attribute. And here there is a description and whether if that attribute is required or not. In case it's not required, then default value will be set, and everything is explained in this page. So basically, what it will allow you to do is, suppose that you have your app, and then you can embed directly the scheduler, the same scheduler that you have in Jasper Report, or a very similar one. You'll be able to render, and also all the interactions that are already there for Jasper Report Server will also be provided in this package. So for instance, if this is a required attribute and you don't put a valid value, once you switch the tab, then it will tell you, hey, you know what, there is something wrong there, and it will be immediately shown here. Another thing is that you are now using here the scheduler package, but you can also combine now packages, because in this case we are showing an input control, and this input control is a multi-select list. So now, as they are npm packages, you can combine these and make it work. Okay. Uh, and again, all the interactions present in the scheduler from Jasper Report Server will be also preserved here in this package, this npm package. So yeah, now the new thing that we are providing here is that um, on that schedule, uh, you can provide an object to let what things are needed. So for instance, you can show the stepper or not. So the stepper is, this section. In case you don't want the stepper, so you can come here, you can come to this page where it will show you all the options that are there. And you can start, removing things. And once you are happy with the selection that you have, then you can click on this code. And here you'll see the code for this, and you can click on copy code, and it will tell you that it's copied. And then you can go to your application, and you can provide, with that, object. Okay, you can do this, and now on your application, the one that you are using or the one that you are, uh, working on, it will have the configuration that you put. So this is how the scheduler app, the JV scheduler, can be used in your application.
Okay, perfect. So, these are just the beginning, right? We do want to expand this library to cover more use cases. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we're just super focused on providing functionality that will improve the embedding process. Okay. So let me move on. Okay, so continuing with Jasper Report Server improvements and taking a look at ad hoc and dashboards, we have a series of enhancements that are focused on making your self-service reporting experience a little bit more intuitive, right? So we've redesigned the ad hoc layout band for building visualizations in a more intuitive way. It now dynamically adapts to each chart type, and it clearly shows the relevant areas for your fields and the measures depending on the visualization type that you're looking to build. You will also notice that the ad hoc designer tooltips now provide more consistent and informative details, just making it a little bit easier to understand the fields that you're working with in your visualizations. For input controls, we have also made them more dynamic based on the outcome of expressions, and we just hope that this provides a much smoother and interactive experience when working with input controls. And just for other improvements that we've done, we've added a print button directly to the report viewer, dashboard viewer, and ad hoc designer toolbars. So this option will generate a PDF of your visualizations. It opens up your system's print dialog, and you can also choose to hide or display this option in the viewers. We also have disable alerts. So this is a full-fledged feature now, which allows you to disable alerts that are triggered when specific conditions are met. And I think this has been a key request from many of our customers, and it's part of, the ongoing improvements that we're making on scheduling. And for the last one, we have the visual indicator of filters. So dashlets that are affected by a filter are now highlighted with a blue border. And so this visual cue just makes it a little bit easier to understand how your filters are impacting your visualizations at a quick glance. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the Web Studio piece. I'll pass it over to Julio for this part.
Thank you, Maria. So for what concerned Jasper Reports Library Professional and how is reflected directly inside Jaspersoft Studio Desktop, but this component is also be available for Jasper Report Web Studio. We introduce a way to embed inside a report HTML code. Now, this is something we were able to do at some degree by using text fields and using this HTML as a styling or a text format. But this was limited to things like a bold, italic, maybe the color of the fonts. With this component, we are allowing our report designers to inject inside a report an entire HTML page, which can be either loaded from a database and provided as a snippet of HTML, or even fetched automatically by some website. Now, some important things. We also paid a lot of attention to the security part of this component, which by default disallow JavaScript, and it's possible to specify even which tags are actually allowed to be printed or in general to be used in the HTML code that will be rendered. The output will be in PDF on PDF format. The page will be rendered as HTML and HTML format, and for all the other formats such as Excel or ODF, we will just generate a raster image of the content. Well, very excited about this new feature. It behaves pretty much like a sub-report, so it may span over several pages. We also try to elaborate or process the HTML in order to prevent as much as possible potential situation where a text may be cut between a page and the other. So this will ensure in the as much as possible the fact that the HTML will be rendered properly and a paginated type of report.
Great. Next slide, Julia.
Yeah, so let's move to Jasper Report Web Studio, and we are also did several improvements in the designing part. Of course, Jaspersoft, Jasper Report Web Studio is a web-based designer for Jasper reports. Is similar to Jaspersoft Studio Desktop, but completely revisited for the web. Now, being a much newer product, we are still in the process to catch up with many features, and one of the key features that we have been working on for some time as the table editor and the crosstab editor. We were still able to use table and crosstab in the previous version, but really the ability to edit this component were some kind of cumbersome or complicated. Now with the full new table editor and crosstab editor, we are not only able to easily manage these tables, create columns for the table, arrange elements, arrange columns, and for the crosstab, create row and column groups in a simpler way. But also both these components now comes with a wizard that guides the user in the creation of these elements from scratch, which was like really, really required since both in Jasper reports are some kind of complex components that connect to some data sets. So some guidance was definitely necessary. Now, for what concern other parts that have been improved in Web Studio, well, there is a long list of small and big improvements. So here we just point some bullets that are the most recognizable, let's say, and the ones that are more useful to quickly design reports. So images when are now present inside the report, which try to show them. Now, this seems to be obvious, but it's not because images are driven by expressions. So we need to interpret the expressions in the browser. And these expressions are usually Java expressions that are supposed to be evaluated at runtime. We have the ability to now just type a text element and change the text there. If it is an expression, now an expression editor pops up inside the designer. So this will make editing faster. And also we propose all the objects you can use inside the expression. So this also makes things a little bit easier to work with. We also supported now the columns. Now that's not a super frequent use case, but you may want to create a report that prints data in columns, right? Not just a single column. And this was not very well supported. Now it is. But then there are many other things that comes along with the ability to click on an element to see a small toolbar with shortcuts to the most common features. So to move elements respect to the zeta order, uh, automatically encapsulate elements inside frames, which helps in creating special backgrounds or conditional backgrounds. And also all the part related to conditional styles have been improved.
Okay, great. Thanks, Julio. And we'll come back to you in a moment just to continue with what's ahead for Web Studio as well. Okay, so the items that we just went through, again, are being developed and tested and will be available in our upcoming release, which is the 10.0 Jakarta track being planned for Q4. All right, and then moving on to the next segment. So here we'll go over what we're planning to work on after our current release, which is the 10.0. Please keep in mind that some of these items are still under exploration and things could certainly shift as we gather more feedback, as we, learn more and validate these initiatives. So the quick note that our roadmap is subject to change. Okay, so starting with automated and advanced report options for this theme, we're planning to significantly modernize our scheduling capabilities. Okay, so this means that we are looking to enhance how we support enterprise-grade governance, ensuring features like multi-tenancy, white labeling, and role-based access control, making sure that these features are more advanced and comprehensive. Okay, and then the goal here is to help you reduce operational overhead with more visibility and better management options for your scheduled reports, right? So for this scheduling piece, yes, it's about improving the schedule creation capabilities, but also and just as importantly, is about taking the monitoring and the managing of schedules to the next level. We are also exploring leveraging AI to simplify data analysis. So we want to help business users or end users with quick and intuitive ways of generating immediate insights and actionable summaries from reports and data sets, right? And we do believe that this will help reduce the need for the manual exploration of data, which can sometimes be a cumbersome process. Now for customization and configuration, like I mentioned before, right? We'd like to continue expanding our visualized toolkit. And the goal here is to grow the library to cover more of your end-to-end reporting use cases, right? So we're reviewing, adding more components for the report viewer, for the ad hoc editor, and just other areas where we think that will make embedding more seamless and easier to do. Now, again, we have a strong focus on Web Studio enhancements. So Julia will explain some of the items that we'll continue to work on next, and this will just be an ongoing initiative with each of the releases that we do. For Web Studio 2, we're exploring an AI-powered expressions builder to help with writing complex Java expressions. And then for ad hoc views, we want to extend the existing drill down capabilities from charts to table visualizations so that tables can have the same level of interactivity. And we will continue to enhance and grow the input controls components with more usability enhancements and with more configuration options. Okay. So now I will pass it over to Shekhar to take us through the ideas and the plans for scheduling.
Thanks, Maria, and hello, everyone. So, Scheduler is one of the most used value-added services, so it becomes pretty critical for us to invest time and effort, not only to enhance the features, but also to improve on the performance. Our long-term goal for Scheduler is to go ahead and release Scheduler as a service, which should mean we will introduce it as an independent service which could be scaled up. Now, this is going to help customers who are running a large number of schedules and where Scheduler is becoming a bottleneck. So this will help you scale it, and this will remove the bottleneck. It will also reduce the compute cost for the customer who are moving to cloud. And it's going to help developers because now it will be easier to isolate the issues and debugging become more simplified. So when we talk of scheduler, there are three broad areas. Number one, schedule creation, wherein we define the schedule, we collect the metadata, and we store it to the DB. Number two, report execution, wherein the actual report execution happens. And number three is the report distribution. So currently, we are distributing the reports through an email attachment, or we are saving it to the repository, or we are publishing it to a remote FTP server. So what we plan to do is we plan to add more distribution channels and integrate more options. Now, this will give you flexibility of configuring and selecting from a longer set of distribution mechanisms. So, amongst multiple distribution mechanism which we have developed and we are planning to develop, we are also going to add an option of printing via a remote printer. We have already released SendGrid, and we are going to make it compatible with the Google Drive. We are also developing a lot of features. Maria, if you can move to the next slide. So batch scheduling. So currently we are able to schedule one report at a time. So we are building this capacity to schedule multiple reports under one batch. Now, these will have certain common properties like the time of execution, but they can still be different in terms of output formats or the distribution channels. Workflow mechanism is another area wherein we are investing. So here we are defining the job dependencies, and sequential scheduling will allow you to schedule reports in sequence. For example, Schedule B will run after the execution of Schedule A. Conditional scheduling is something wherein you can add the business logic in between the schedules. So probably, a Schedule B or a Schedule C will be executed based on the outcome of Schedule A. So the entire workflow can be defined and can be managed here. There are some other features like, we are going to create schedules based on cron expressions. We are also creating an admin panel, which will give you a lot of insights, including logs or failed schedules, or probably the schedules which are in progress. This is another feature which has been requested by a lot of customers. That is schedule transfer of ownership. So when a user is deactivated, then the schedules mapped to him go stale. So we needed to have some mechanism to go ahead and transfer it to another user. So we are building it now. Admins will be able to transfer the schedules from one user to another. Role-based access. So that's another thing which we are working on. So currently we have a user-based access. So now we are going to introduce role-based access. Auto printing is something which we already covered in the distribution mechanism. So we will have it, a process for remote printing. So that's it from scheduling. I'll just pass it over to Julia for the next slide.
Yes, thank you, Shekhar. So in terms of a vision or what we plan to work on Studio, actually some stuff is already under active development, is on a first bucket, introduce a set of enhancements that are related directly to the way you add stuff and content to the report. Some tools have been provided by Jaspersoft Studio Desktop for a long time, so it's now time to have them also in Jasper Report Web Studio. I'm talking about an easy way to add something like page X of Y inside the page footer, or to format numbers, percentage, and then there are several other small tools like the ability to maximize object, maximize the bands, and also having some special layout rules that allows to automatically lay out elements inside a container. Now, for what concern the data part and some elements that are related more to the expressions, again, in the area of formatting, we want to have the percentage numbers and date formatting tool, but also these wizards that will pop up when you drag, for instance, a field inside a band that is different from the detailed band. So the software will understand that you may want to perform some kind of calculations like a total, like an average, and will provide the ability to easily go through a simple wizard that will create for us all the variables and the expression required to perform these calculations. Other improvements in the area of the parameters, so the ability to sort parameters creates a different order to satisfy dependencies between parameters. Finally, we are also working on improvements related to the resource management, which is the first the part in Jasper Report Web Studio where you manage your repository. And we are improving the repository management in terms of what you can do and how you can do, introducing drag and drop for files and creation of folders and so on.
All right, perfect. Thank you both, Shaker and Julio. And okay, so for the last part of our presentation, I wanted to share our high-level vision and the strategic approach that we'd like to take for integrating AI into Jaspersoft. So this approach is really centered around solving your key challenges and addressing specific needs that you may have, right? So we're not simply adding AI for the sake of it. We do see it as a transformative tool that can significantly enhance your experience with our platform and could make your workflows more efficient and less complex, right? So we're carefully validating all of these AI ideas just to make sure that what we do implement does deliver real value. Now, our core goal or our mission in terms of AI is to empower you with intelligent data and reporting experiences through AI-driven automation, simplification, and insight generation. And to achieve this, again, we really want to build on our core strengths, which are pixel perfect reporting and powerful embedding. Okay. Now, based on feedback that we've received from our users, from our customers, and also insights from our support and customer success teams, we are specifically targeting these challenges that you see here on screen that involve complex coding or manual tasks in areas or in processes that can sometimes be prone to errors that can be time consuming. So this is where we believe that AI can make a real difference. Now, as we're thinking of our long-term strategy, we want to outline our AI expansion path, which follows a progressive and this layered model that you see here on screen, right? So the path starts with foundational capabilities that we can deliver in the short term, and it continues to expand outwards towards more complex AI features, right? So for the core, this layer here, this initial layer focuses again on trying to have an immediate impact by introducing Gen AI to simplify report creation, right? So think about using natural language to generate expressions, configure charts, or ask questions of your data. We've already seen promising results in POCs that we've done, indicating that these are high impact enhancements that can immediately reduce complexity and they can shorten your time to value. And the important piece is that this is, whether you're a technical or non-technical user. Okay. Now moving on to the middle layer. So once our core is robust, we'll build out or continue to build AI-powered tooling. So this means introducing smarter automated workflows for multiple operational use cases within Jaspersoft. And this is looking to benefit developers, IT administrators, and end users too. So with this, we see we could have a little bit more reach in terms of the different types of users that could benefit from it and that we want to cater to. And then for the outer layer or the last layer, this is really representing our long-term vision, and it's a space that we need to continue exploring as the AI technology advances, right? So in this long-term view, we're looking at how we can support concepts like the Model Context Protocol or MCP. The idea here is to offer standardized services that connect with what's already available within the Jaspersoft platform. Okay. The theme for this layer is orchestrating data experiences, and the hypothesis that we currently have is that we can provide a consistent and a scalable way for Jaspersoft to integrate, to interact in a really flexible way with different advanced AI models. And what this does for us, and of course for our customers, is increase the opportunities for better automation, better insight generation, and data governance of the reporting workflows in within our Jaspersoft platform and our broader environment. Okay. Okay, so just to quickly recap what we're looking to do in more of a short-term view is to leverage AI to help you just quickly gain deeper insights from your data, from your reports. This we're thinking will happen primarily through natural language querying, which allows you to ask questions about your data in plain language and then receive instant and contextually relevant answers. And for the second piece, the idea here is again to leverage AI um, to help you in creating and managing Java expressions directly within Web Studio. So the main goal here is to simplify report logic and try to reduce some of the errors that come with trying to build these Java expressions, right? So we want to offer something that is a super user-friendly interface where you could describe the desired expression in natural language without needing that in-depth Java knowledge, and then the AI will generate the correct code for taking into account your data and your context. Okay. Okay, so we have reached the end of our presentation. Let me just bring up the Q&A chat, and if Shaker and Julio can also take a look here. Okay, so will these slides be available? And how often is the roadmap updated? So yes, we will make this recording, the slides available right now. We have been sharing a similar PDF that I've created, but we are looking for ways to just get this roadmap information on a more frequent basis to you, or just have it someplace in the community where it could be easily accessible, whenever you need it. But we will send some of this follow-up material after the webinar. Let me see. So Mohit and Shaker, this is probably for you. Will our existing reports designed in older Jaspersoft versions still work after upgrading to 10.0, even if they're using Java Enterprise Edition?
Yes, the older reports created in the Java Enterprise Edition will keep on working even after the upgrade to the Jakarta Edition.
Okay. Julio, this one may be for you. Which Jasper Reports library and format will be used in the Jaspersoft 10.0, still
Yeah.
6.21, or
So 10 will be the first version of Jasper Report Server adopting the new Jasper Reports Library 7. Now, being the professional part of our offering, the Jasper Reports Library Professional, which is what is shipped with Jasper Report Server, is actually able to load transparently both JRXML 6 and JRXML 7. Of course, it works natively with 7. So when you publish a report, you may want to publish something made with 7. But if you publish JRXML in version 6, it will be still understood by Jasper Report Server.
got it. Thank you, Julio. There's also a couple questions around scheduling. So, Shaker, this is for you. Will a scheduler as a service be available as an option, or will it replace what we currently have for scheduling? And also, in scheduling, will we be able to find the status of the scheduled job after it has been run?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So yes, we are going to completely decouple scheduler from the existing JRS. So it will be as a service which can be scaled up. So it will be completely decoupled. And the second question was, will we be able to find the status of the scheduled job after it has been run? Yes, you will be able to see that. In fact, you'd be able to see the status of the existing schedules, the reports which are currently running. So the entire dashboard will give you the insights of it.
Perfect. Okay, and just one last question to address. Is Jaspersoft 9.0 no longer going to be supported? When do we need to switch to 10.0? So we will continue to support 9.0. I need to check the specific end of life dates. I don't know, Chikra or Mohit, if you have them handy. We will continue to support this version. You will, like Mohit mentioned, you will still be able to continue on the Java track if you don't want to make the switch to Jakarta, but we will just continue to add all of our new features and enhancements on the Jakarta track, right? So if you want to be able to access those and just, have those new features, those new enhancements, then we suggest that you do make the switch to 10.0, which is the Jakarta track. Okay. Um, okay. And will you talk anything about the community editions feature? Okay, so we didn't include that segment for this presentation, but this is a great question. And yes, we can do for sure just future, sessions on the roadmap for a community. What are the plans there? What are the differences between, the community and the commercial versions? We do have some plans to talk about that, so we can address them in future webinars. And okay, I think that would be it for today. So stay tuned for all of the materials that we'll send and get to you after the call, so in the coming few weeks. Thank you everybody for joining, and thank you to our panelists for sharing all of this great information.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Everybody.
Thanks, everybody.